Greetings one and all. Welcome to Channel Other Doc. I'm Jim, your friendly Lacuna GM. I use he, him pronouns, and this is our Invisible Sun campaign, The Edge of Paradox. Invisible Sun is a surreal slice of life game by Monte Cook Games. We are integrating the directed campaign, but most of this game happens spontaneously. We're going to... We shall maybe a tad bit shorter today, as unfortunately we got a late start because I unfortunately had life stuff suddenly happen. But damn it, I wanted to get in some surrealism tonight, so we're doing it. So we shall go around and say hello to everybody, find out who they are and who they're playing. Once again, starting with Djinnaya. Hello.
Hello. My name is Djinnaya. I use she, her pronouns. I will be playing Shah Gamelon, an established gallant of the Order of Makers who cages adversaries. Shah also uses she, her pronouns.
Cool. And now let us head over... Ah, there you are, over to Wilde. Hello.
Yes, hi, I'm Wilde Engineer, he, they pronouns, and I am playing Shantano. They use they, them pronouns. They are an itinerant empath of the Order of Apostate who splinters into fragments.
And I just have to say, I think that the cat passing in front of the camera works very well for that, because it just, Shantano is constantly in a state of change, so I think it works as sort of a metaphor in a way. So it works out very nicely. It's very cool. Now let us... Also, good to see them. I'm always pleased to see the kitties. Now let us head over to Arras. Hello.
Hello. My name is Arras. My pronouns are she, they. And I am playing Aroshka Ruzik, aromatic empath apostate who converses with everything. Whose pronouns are she, her.
Awesome. And now we will say hi to Anino. Hello.
How's it going? My name is Anino. I use he, him pronouns. Today I play the no longer itinerant, but still an enthusiastic of the Order of the Goetica who provides a vessel for spirits. They, them pronouns.
Yeah, that's right. We need to think about the if you're changing your if you're changing that part of your sentence, your character sentence, because that's you're in one place now.
I know, right?
The first thing you do is you get on a train. So I'm getting mixed signals somehow, but.
Well,
I'll have to figure that out. But I mean, everyone else was doing it, so I mean, it's that's understandable.
That's true, but I was the first to hop on this train.
That's true.
That's responsibilities to my house.
What? Yeah, maybe we should see how things go before we change that. We'll have to see sort of a little trial period here. See how the tenants like it. Finally, over to Danielle. Hello.
Hello, I am Danielle. I'm at Racontor on Twitter. I use she, her pronouns, and so does my character, Vormera Vanus, a connected ardent of the Order of Weavers who shepherds minds.
Excellent.
She is a lying liar.
Yes, that's true. That's right. She claimed peerage last time, didn't she? As I recall.
She claimed to be a friend of the Duchess, at least.
That is true. Oh, that's right. Yes. Thank you for reminding me. There's a thing that's going to happen very near the beginning of this session.
Thing.
Just a little thing. But before we get to that, as a reminder, like we do with most games on this channel, we're going to be using the X card, the N card, and the O card. If we hit something that's crossing a line for one of us, any of us can type an X in the Zoom video chat or anywhere else, or make an X symbol, and we'll back up and do something else. If something happens that we're okay having in the game, but we don't want a graphic description of it, we can type an N in the Zoom chat and we'll fade to black on it or put it behind a veil, so it'll be there, but we won't go into detail. Finally, if we're exploring a topic or an area of roleplay that's particularly intense for us, but we want to keep going anyway, then we can put an O in the chat to let us know we're okay and that we're all good to keep piling on the drama. Something else we can do is put an O with a question mark after it when we're moving into a difficult topic, or if we say or do something and then think, maybe that might have been a little too much. And then everyone else can respond to that again with an X and an or an O to let us know if we're still doing okay. So, That's funny. Looking at that sentence in chat, I realized that could almost be a character sentence: a lying liar who lies. But
Far off.
that's a thought. Lying liar of the order of liars who lies. But in any case,
Straightforward.
yes. So last time, train. There was a train. There were people on the train who were dressed like the people from the Church of Midnight, and that put some folks on edge a bit. They got to hang out and listen to their conversation a bit, and it seemed as though they were talking about throwing someone from the train. Then they, so they overheard that. That didn't sound too good. They decided perhaps it would be a good idea to warn the engineer. So they went up through the private car that's the most expensive private car that has many accoutrements of the sort that one would find in a Victorian manor, up to and including a fireplace. And they went because the lady who was there apparently let them through. They have not seen her face yet, but they convinced her to let them through to work out a seating problem. Apparently, went through and then eventually went through the concept of a coal car. Until they made it up to the after talking to the conductor, they went up to they talked to the conductor. The conductor let them go through the coal car concept to speak to the engineer, who was kind of part of the train, or at least is part of the train right now. In a very sort of Wizard of Oz type scene, basically. Agreed to slow the train down in exchange for their word that they would consult the oracle in the garden car about a potential calamity that is to strike the train. The enemies of the train may be working against it, and the engineer Boris will not have that. So asked them to go and seek out, sent them on a quest to the garden car to go and find out, consult the oracle for this information. We're not sure if they need any other items when they go over there, but we'll find out. But as far as whether they're, forgive me, I'm reading chat. I shouldn't be doing that right this second. Yes, no, they have just finished that conversation, and you will note as you are making your way, unless there's anything else you wanted to consult Boris about. Also, I have been reminded I need to just pull up one little thing. As I was reminded, I just realized after the show last time that there is a potential difference in regional phonetics here. I just need to type the engineer's name here real quick, just so everyone is aware of it. So anyway, are you going to hang around with the engineer? Is there anything else, or do you want to make your way back? Is your first impulse to make your way back to through the train to try to get somewhere else?
I don't know about everybody else, but I would say, heck yeah, like we have lied our way so far deeply into here that like if we breathe wrong, it's all gonna come crashing down. It feels like.
As a seasoned con artist, it's time to bail.
Yeah.
Like we need to go. Also, we gotta go talk to the seer anyway. So let's.
Yeah. We're not running. We have things to do.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, we just have to be other places.
That's right. Immediately. Yes.
What cars do we have to pass through to get to the garden car?
So you have to make your way back through the coal concept car, which isn't too difficult now that you've done it once. It's easier actually also to go back toward the train through it than it is to approach the engine. But I mean, you are going against the flow of the potential coal, but it's at the same time, you know, you can spot it coming, so that's a little bit easier. But one thing that is going to happen, you are going to have to get back through the private car. And I just was curious, briefly, Areshka was also on this train, but was not with you last time. So what I would like to know is, have you been doing something else, or were you briefly off in Shadow, and then are you just returning from there?
I'm gonna say I was briefly off in Shadow.
Okay, that's awesome. Because here's what's going to happen. So you're going to appear inside this room. That's looks it's very nice. It's there's a 4-poster bed in this room. There is what looks otherwise kind of like a Victorian sitting room. There are bookshelves. There is a vanity. And there are some overstuffed chairs and a couple of even older looking sort of Louis XIV-ish looking chairs, and a fireplace along one wall. And there is someone sitting when you come back in front of in one of these chairs. You haven't seen her yet, but she's doing something. I can't remember what she was doing last time. I think she was like writing something down, or it was an odd thing. She was trying to work. Yes, I remember now. Yes, she's writing something down. And you sort of hear the paper shuffle for a second, and then it stops. And you hear this voice emanating from presumably this person. Who is there?
Oh, name's Roshka. Oh, I'm sorry, I was just came back, you know. I didn't mean to end up here.
It's very unusual. Very unusual. People have this is a private car. This is not the train station. Where did you just come back from?
You know, the gray.
Oh dear. No. Why would it drop you back here, I wonder?
That's an excellent question. This definitely isn't where I was before.
Are you Are you also going to be contesting your room assignment?
No. Wasn't planning on it.
Interesting. And she shifts and sort of you can smell this sort of honeyed, this almost sickly honeyed perfume coming off her. And she says, You're not here to kill me by any chance, are you? I'm very concerned about that.
No, I'm generally not in the habit of killing people. Why, is there...
Now you just suddenly appeared in my room. You could be an assassin.
I'm really not.
You know, that is what an assassin would say.
That's probably true. No, I was here with some friends. We're going to some town to, involves ice. I'm not really totally clear on what we're doing there.
So at this point, the door is going to open. The door heading toward the front of the train opens, and you realize for the first time, oh, I am on the train, because you can hear it a lot better when the door opens, and you can see the sort of like the things moving a little bit, and you see your companions coming back into the car.
Barushka.
Hi. I have no idea where I am. Are we still on the train, I assume? Yeah?
Yes, we are definitely still on the train. Welcome back.
She's not an assassin, is she?
No,
She's
not
a weapons dealer.
No. No. I'm in a theater, and I've
That sounds rather suspect to me.
Oh yeah.
And you see
They're
these
crazy.
bony hands, like coming up over the back of the chair, and this what looks like a veiled head. This head wearing a headdress and a white veil, sort of peep up just a little bit, sort of looking out at you.
Oh dear. Shaw will curtsy and be like, your Duchessness, she's retired. It's very complicated, but I guess I wouldn't make whatever assumptions one makes when one hears that.
So none of you are here to kill me.
Not at all.
Are you looking to be murdered?
No, goodness, no, not again.
Oh, okay.
Again.
Because
Are we
Shantano has a friend.
I mean,
And
You're
she sort of
scaring
shifts her head. Are we friends? I heard you telling someone we were friends.
I think we can be friends. Would you like to be friends? I'm an excellent friend, or so I've been told.
How much do you charge for that?
I am such a kind and generous person that I don't charge at all for my friendship.
And she's just sort of looking at looking over this the back of this image and says, "Do you like music?
I love music.
Do you play?"
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. And she stands up, picking up this this thing that she's been drawing on, and she turns, and so you're going to be able to see her for a little bit better for the first time. Now, her face is covered with a veil, but because of the motion sometimes of the train, and because of her motion, you can see you can see what's under it. So I'm going to show this image to you. So that you will
I love her.
so that you
Me
will
too.
see the Duchess. Let me see. Here we go. I'm also going to just basically let everyone in the audience see who it is that we're talking about here for but a moment. So she so it's basically, it looks like this but with a veil, very sort of white and gold headdress, elegant dress, and some degree of sort of bandages around the arms and torso, and she does have a skull bag and a fan, but she also right now the skull is set down in one of the other chairs, and at the moment she has picked up this sheaf of paper, and she drifts toward you. And as she reaches forward, she will she'll have the sheet of paper together with her in her hand that has the fan. She will reach forward with her other hand, sort of extend it forward, downward claw-like in the manner of the aristocracy, and say to you, Duchess Maroline.
My pleasure. And Vor will take her hand in the very aristocratic manner as well. Perhaps do like the fake kind of kiss thing. And then she says, Vormera Vanus, at your service.
Indeed. She looks at. Are you going to introduce me to your? Are these your servants?
No, these are my companions.
Oh yes, your companion. That's right. They said your friends, and even this one, she says, pointing to Aroshka.
Oh yes, that's my cousin, Aroshka.
Interesting. Vanus. The family name does sound somewhat familiar. I should have to.
Very long history inside.
Yeah, I shall have to look something up later.
She says, and the great Shah Gamelon of the Order of Makers. And this is Chantenot, and my very good friend, Mac the Husk.
Ah, a professional husk, are you?
Yes, actually.
Fascinating. I've heard of you folk. And so she takes the sheaf of papers out, as she's now sort of somewhat fanning herself, and she will hand it to Vor. And it is sheet music.
Oh, okay.
And she says, "Have a go at that, would you?" And she begins drifting back toward the chairs, which now have turned around. Now that you look back, you see that the chairs are now facing away from the fireplace.
Is there an instrument nearby? Question mark.
So you're having a look around. You don't immediately see one. So there's you don't immediately see one in the vicinity.
Okay.
All you need are 2 spoons for an instrument.
I think I can whip something up. And don't mind me as he starts drawing a summoning circle of this
Just gonna
this trade car. I'm just gonna do a thing.
Good.
But so you're starting to draw this circle, and she's looking at. She's like, "Oh, is that? What are you summoning something to accompany it? To accompany her?"
After a fashion.
Very good. Carry on then. And she's sort of sitting, and she's looking around, and she sees that you're sort of waiting on Mac, and she just sort of tilts her head. Well, I haven't pulled out the harpsichord. Yeah, and she gestures over to the go and pull out the harpsichord, and she gestures to one of the bookcases.
Oh, I was going to summon a spirit that resembled the piano of some sort.
Okay, yeah, you can totally. You can still do that if you like.
Well, no, I mean, like, if there's a harpsichord there, then I will just play the harpsichord.
Well, you don't see a harpsichord, but you see a bookcase.
I will go over to the bookcase and see if I can make the bookcase into a harpsichord.
Oh my god. This can only end well. Are you, just out of morbid curiosity, are you looking at the bookcase at all before you start magicking it, or do you just go and magic it immediately?
I take a look and see, like, is this like a pull-out harpsichord?
Sort of looking back and forth, the titles and the books in there, they're actually, well, okay, so first of all, you don't actually see you don't see one, you don't see a pull-out table thing. thing immediately. Although it looks like there is actually, wait a minute. It looks like there is kind of a pull-out table thing in the middle.
Okay.
So that might be somewhere to start.
All
So you
right.
kind of lift up this little shelf thing, and you pull this table out. And there's a book lying on it, a big sort of coffee table looking big flat book. That's sort of on the end.
The 18th century or something.
Well, you look at the spine and it says the harpsichord.
I open the book.
The book contains the keys.
Awesome. I love it.
You flip open the book, and what you see just immediately is actually there are a few pages of different things, different angles, like piano wire, stuff like that, and you get to about to the middle, and that's where the keys are. And you realize if you flip the book open completely, where it's one end to the other, it takes up most of this table, and you've got all 88 keys.
Perfect. Then I will prop the sheet music up against the wall or whatever is close, maybe another book, and attempt to play the harpsichord. Danielle, can play the piano, but I do not know if Vor can.
That was my next question, was how good is Vor at playing the piano?
I would say Vor's probably a very good singer and probably does at least play the piano somewhat because she likes to go to parties, and at certain kinds of parties being able to play the piano is definitely like a big hit, because like you can like think about like Christmas parties, you go to the piano and you play all the Christmas carols and everybody sings, like, so I think that would be a social skill Vor probably has. She might not be the best at it, or she's like not a concert pianist or anything, but
Decent.
yeah, she's decent enough for social occasions.
Awesome. Okay. So this is a level 4 challenge, playing this piece.
Cool.
So do you have anything you want to throw at it to try to
Let's look.
to make it happen?
Can Mac look at the sheet music and just see what kind of music it might actually be?
Sure. Absolutely. You take a look at it. So it looks very much kind of the sort of, it looks like chamber music, basically, type deal. So very kind of like to relate it to the Grey, very sort of 1700s-ish chamber music. So music of the type that would often be played on the harpsichord. There are bits, it does start to, though at the beginning it starts out that way, and then it starts getting a bit weirder as you get further down the page, and turns somewhat into chamber metal.
Excellent.
You're not sure if
Mac
that's
is just
intentional or not.
Mac is going to go back to his summoning circle, and he's going to summon a demon.
Nice.
All right.
Hopefully there's a vocal part we can give to the demon. That would be really cool. I think I will use, if you will let me, I would like to apply my charm ability here, as she's used to playing in a very social setting. So she kind of covers for her flaws by, smiling and laughing and being as charming as she possibly can.
You're gonna do your Liberace act. Yeah.
Correct.
Okay,
cool. And then I think the best bene I could apply here is maybe an accuracy bene to try to accurately play the music.
That sounds good.
That sound good?
Yeah, it does.
So that should bring it down to a 2.
Roll to sight read.
Excellent. Well, before you roll this though, are you waiting for the? Are you waiting for Mac to summon the rhythm section?
Oh, yes, I will. I will.
Or whatever he's summoning.
In fact, while I wait for Mac to summon this demon, I was just looking through like what I have in my what I have. I've got like glow sticks apparently. I don't remember what I picked those up.
Oh, that's right. You do. You do have glow sticks.
So I'll like
It
set
was
some glow sticks.
it was
out.
raining glow sticks at one point.
Yep, I'll set some glow sticks out for ambiance.
Like candles on a knot.
Yep, and take a nice swig of my champagne until Mac is finished summoning this demon.
You picked them. You picked up the glow sticks, I think, from the perpetual storm that surrounds your mentor's apartment high rise, if I remember correctly. But yes, so what kind of a demon are you summoning?
Mac is going to attempt to. Mac has never summoned a demon before, so this is going to be very different.
This will be great.
But I'm going to say that Mac is going to try to summon a level 3 demon because he feels like a level 3 demon is high enough for this task, but not too high to be insulted by a by a summoning like this.
Okay, yeah, and we're not, we're not in a place where this is horribly critical. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to draw a card here real quick, for a moment, because we'll assume the Duchess is not in a hurry. So, and the train is now moving more slowly. So it's now going to take 4 days to get to Yestervale instead of 3. And it's actually one of those things. I think they're going to be doing the regular. I think they're probably moving through the bulk of this part of Indigo at roughly the same pace, and maybe a little slower, because they've got all these stops. But once they get into open land, they're not going to hurtle across like they were going to. So I'm going to draw a card real quick. All right. Oh, okay. This is great. Okay. Yeah. All right. This is good. Was there anything in particular aside from just level 3 demon that you were trying to specify here, or was there?
I think that in his calling, he is going to call for a demon with some exemplary showmanship.
Okay.
In his general quest.
All right. Ready to find out what card I drew?
Yes.
I drew the inevitable cataclysm. Let's see. Right now, gold magic is up, silver magic is down. It is a card of visions. Its meanings are bad luck, endings, inevitability, breaking a relationship. While we fear the cataclysm, it is inevitable. We cannot prevent it. The end comes for all things eventually, and we cannot stop it. The earth quakes, the seas advance, the sky falls, fire engulfs everything. We can try to survive it, but that's likely the best we can hope for. An optimist might try to say that a cataclysm can be cleansing and change things for the better, but the inevitable cataclysm really isn't about that. It's about endings. In divination, it's difficult to see this card turned as a positive one. Typically, even if it suggests that something unwanted comes to an end, it is usually a violent and costly one. This card might just be seen as an ill fortune, but it could also be the end of a relationship, the end of an ongoing success, or that a significant possession, like a house, might be in danger of destruction. So, I think this is going to go really well.
You couldn't just let us roll dice, huh?
Ever.
This is more scene flavoring than anything else. It helps me, gives me an idea of what direction to lean in. You're going to be successful at summoning the demon. That's not a problem. So let me do this thing where I pull up the random things that this thing is like. Excellent. Okay. So you have summoned a creature that appears. He looks like kind of like there are qualities that I would call armadillo-like to this creature somewhat, in that they are upright, but they have a kind of a triangular head, and this sort of armored shell about them, and they're wearing an opera cape, and it looks at you, sort of swiveling its eyes around, and it laps out its incredibly long tongue for just a moment, and is looking at everyone, and it has these very sort of stubby arms, and it sort of looks over at Mac. What is the request?
Oh, my associate over there is about to perform a song on said harpsichord, and I thought that I would provide assistance.
Oh, I see. Are the rights up for grabs?
You want the rights to the music?
Well, potentially, it depends. Are they for sale?
I mean, I suppose if you want to record this and sell it, you can.
Yeah, potentially. I just want to know if this is going to be a public performance or if this is something else.
It's a performance for an audience of one.
Oh. He sort of looks around. The Duchess kind of waves at the demon. It's like, oh, okay, all right. I suppose that I can just go with, and then I can waive the rights, but I suppose I will still need to charge scale.
Well, you can have the rights. I don't think we're going to want to keep them.
The Duchess says, I am not sacrificing the performance rights to this piece yet. It's not done. It's not ready yet.
Oh, this is your piece. Well, I didn't know that. Okay. So scale. What do people usually pay you in?
Scales.
Will you settle for slivers of glass?
What?
Well, if someone is able to produce slivers of glass from performing a scale, that would work.
Oh, well, in that case, Shantano over here has
like sung scales.
Is basically made of an infinite amount of shards of glass. So if you want
yes.
scales, well,
Yes.
that'll totally work, right?
Wait. Are we talking about scales on a fish or like singing?
Yes.
Which?
And if I have to.
You say that as though they're two different things. You say that as though they're two. And I'm getting the voices mixed up. You say that as though they're two different things.
Well, what is a physical object and the other is a manifestation into waves of an
Have you never-
interaction between two physical objects?
You have obviously never tried to play a fish.
I am not proficient in fish playing.
They can be. It is a tricky instrument to master, but it can be quite good.
So, are you saying that you want the musical scale and then nobody else gets to play it once it's done?
I just thought he wanted physical scales.
I'm requesting first performance rights. Since this is just a private show, I'm not going to request all rights, but I'm reserving the right for first refusal on performance for the performance of the scale. Then after that, you can do whatever you like with it.
Is there anything heavy around the room?
Yes, there are several heavy things in this room. There are bookends. There are iron pokers by the fire. There are chairs. There's furniture. There's heavy furniture here. I think there's a globe in the corner on wheels. There are various knickknacks on the fireplace. There are books. Take your pick.
Cool. Let's go with one of the fireplace pokers.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Shantano is just gonna like put his hand on the table and just grab the poker and just smash half of one of his fingers off, and he's like,
Oh my god!
"That's enough."
Oh god!
I think Shaw actually screams, like blood-curdlingly screams.
And at this point, the Duchess gasps and sort of is pulled back and is like covering her face with her fan. And when you finish screaming, there's a brief moment of silence, and then the demon is like, "Oh, that's quite good. That's very good. That'll more than do. Yes, excellent." And he just sort of points at the. He says, "It happened the other way around, but but that's absolutely perfect. That's beautiful. That'll be just fine." He sort of points at the piece of Shantano that has been broken off. Oh my god!
I liked that finger too.
I think you
You
should
can grow those back, right?
keep it.
Yeah. Yes, as soon as I've had an opportunity to perform it in some venue or other, it's then afterward it reverts back to you.
Oh, that's not
okay.
too bad then.
Intact, of course, right?
It's not intact?
No, I'm just saying is like your musical performance with the said finger is not going to result in the destruction of it, like, you know.
Why would I destroy it? No, certainly not.
I'm just saying there's some musicians out there who will smash their guitars as part of their performance.
Oh, yes, no, I'm familiar with those. No, I don't do that. It's much too expensive.
Fair enough. Just want to make sure that I'm cutting a decent deal here.
Yeah, it is, of course.
If it's to return to me, it can be smashed a lot more.
Okay.
Is this better or worse than when I got shot out of the cannon?
It's hard to say. I mean, it's only a small piece of you, but at the same time, it does hurt.
Let it be said that no one suffered for this art.
I've suffered for my art. Now it's your turn. So, excellent.
I guess I start playing the piano. The harpsichord.
Well, Shantano's certainly not going to do it anymore.
No, not at this point.
Just miss a key or two. That's fine.
What's the what part of this is the demon here to perform?
I was hoping there was a cool vocal line or
Oh
something.
yeah, the demon can do the vocals if you want. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, basically, he sort of works his way, and actually, he doesn't have to leave the circle for this. So he does this whole, he does this like Moon River. No, anyway, he's apparently he sounds kind of like Johnny Mathis. Apparently, when he's actually singing, it's very strange. And So you begin playing this piece, and I guess we're going to have you actually roll now.
Okay. Cool.
You got it down to a 2.
I did.
Doesn't
I'll throw it. Yeah, I'll throw it back down to. I'll throw it down to a 1 for the demonic accompaniment.
That's cool. I got an 8.
Oh, that's very good. Okay.
Hey.
So, not only so this piece, like I said, is it's a sort of a chamber music that turns slightly into chamber metal, possibly accidentally, toward the end. But since you did so well, you can actually mold it a little bit if you want it to sound different. How do you want this to sound?
Vor will add like a little bit of embellishment here and there, but generally staying true to what it was probably intended to sound like. At least in terms of like overall. So it probably starts out very light and then gets like progressively more metal.
Okay. Speeding up and start hitting the keys harder and harder. So this is an unbridled success as you folks are hearing this being played out. It's a very beautiful piece that just seems to go off the rails as it gets further and further into it, till eventually it sort of crashes at the end. Does anyone sing along with the demon, or is the demon just soloing it? I'm just curious. Is anyone tempted to sing along with the demon? I'll put it that way.
I mean,
Not at all.
can start a mosh while there's.
It's entirely possible. It's this weird seamless transition into the two different for the two different styles that happens. So the thing is that as you get near the end of this piece, the car sort of shakes, and when you hit the final note, and the demon is hitting the final note, every piece of glass in this car shatters. Everything in here that is made of glass.
So that include all of Chantal.
So quite
Tim, I have a
possibly.
very quick question. What happened to my champagne flute?
Uh-oh.
Because Vor's gonna cry, literally cry, if her champagne flute is broken.
Where did you put your champagne flute before you started playing?
I probably had it on the like right near the harpsichord, yeah, so that she could take a drink before, and then she probably just set it down.
So well, we did draw the impending disaster.
Vor's going to be inconsolable.
The train
for the rest of this train journey.
at the end of the piece, on the final note, the train kind of it's like someone has put the brakes on, and everything just sort of slides down a few feet on the train. The champagne flute goes flying. At this point, the far door opens, shutters open, as part of this, and the champagne flute goes flying out.
Out of the train?
You're not sure if it landed outside the train or if it landed in the next car somewhere.
Vor swears very loudly and hops up off the harpsichord after her champagne flute.
So, you are now running to hunt that down.
Yeah, yes.
Running to hunt down your errant champagne. What is everyone else doing?
I think I look around at all the broken glass and like what I imagine is now just the roaring of wind and kind of like cautiously clap.
I'm gonna be like, that's a very impressive song, Duchess. I've never seen a song do that before.
Indeed.
The Duchess picks herself up from where she's become entangled with the globe in the corner of the room, which is kind of fallen on her as she's sort of rolling it around, like slowly standing up. And you can now see her clearly. She does not have her veil has been torn off by this, and she sort of she struggles to her feet, and she's like, "I should perhaps revise it. I had not quite intended it to end that way."
I think Shantano is simultaneously reforming and looking through the glass, being like, "Was this a part of me or no?"
Yeah, it's hard to tell. It's like, I mean, you were ready. You were able to disperse just before, so it didn't shatter you per se. You're used to shattering, so you're okay. But it is a little confusing right now. As you're kind of sort of sitting there trying to figure this out, the demon will kind of the demon actually at this point is crouched down and has picked up the piece of Shantano that was originally broken off, and nods solemnly, and he says, "Oh, let's see. If you're ever distributing the right," and he sort of turns to the Duchess and says, "If you're ever distributing the rights to that, do see if it gets to the red, because it would be quite a hit there, I think." And he just sort of nods to everyone. Good day, and he just disappears in a puff of smoke. I think that as you're sort of the Duchess kind of sort of drifts forward again and is like, well, I dare say I think they should have to have a steward in to sort things out, as this is rather unfortunate, as this I'm afraid this car is no longer livable at the moment, which is just as well. Perhaps we should adjourn to the parlor.
Okay. Shantano, do you need help? Like, does he need time to reform? I think Shaw's come over and is like separating out glass that's obviously not Shantano. Like, that's stained glass, that's stained glass.
Well, I think if we just collect all the glass in a bag and I can sort through it later.
Oh my god.
Just you walk around with a bag of glass.
So immediately these stewards, again with little round hats and the green sort of vests, really come running in, and they're starting to try to clean things up. Do you folks start heading back into the train proper?
Yes.
I do, but I want to tell the stewards first that if they have to do any sort of refiguration magic, they should definitely make a non-existent tunnel from one door to the other so that people don't have to bother her Grace when they go to the engine.
Oh, all right,
I'm
miss.
sure it was just an oversight that someone didn't put that into this car, but you should definitely, I mean, it would be so simple, don't you think?
Yeah, I wouldn't know, miss, but I'll pass that along. And after talking to him for a few minutes, you realize that this is probably a thought form. So
well,
does his job. That's about it. But his job is his life, because he's He's a
Literally.
conjured creature.
Literally.
So let's see. Where did the champagne flute end up? I wonder. Let's see. Where would be the most interesting place?
I'm seriously contemplating jumping off the train.
Oh no!
Into the dining car where they're having a champagne tasting, and it's mixed in with all the other champagne.
Oh no!
Or we'll drink
Wait.
every glass of champagne.
Just see if it refills.
That's so good.
She will be very trash for the rest of this train ride.
Oh my god. Okay. Okay, I'm going to adapt some of that idea. I am going to go ahead. I will do the courtesy before I start describing this of drawing another card, so that there can be at least another potential element besides just the
Besides catastrophe.
besides the catastrophe in my brain, and so we'll see kind of what it is that we're looking at here. Okay. That's kind of close to what was in there already. That's okay. So we have the conspirator. Again, this is the defender of secrets. So there is this this strange thing that happens. It's not that strange. But it's more sort of, how would one describe this? You get this brief comedy of errors moment. When you see the... there we go. When you see this, this train has sort of come to a halt. You see, you see the champagne flute that's sort of bouncing from person to person as the people are trying to catch it, and things are falling all around them, and the sudden train stop. And you see it's sort of it's basically going for people are trying to catch it and accidentally hitting it and passing it along, and it continues through the next car. It at one point hits the floor and rolls, and you see it get picked up. Let's see. By this fellow, whom they have not described here, so I am just going to create a description. Hang on. Yeah, so this fellow in kind of a shirt and vest. He's not wearing a jacket over it. And at first you thought for a second this was one of the stewards, but he actually is not. His vest isn't the same color quite as the others, and he's not wearing the little hat. And you see it like he's at the far end of the car, the one of the passenger cars. He picks it up and he's like, "Oh!" And he turns around and he runs into the next car.
I follow that man at top speed.
Okay.
Why on earth is he running away with my freaking champagne flute?
So, oh my god, okay. So if you're attempting to catch this person,
I am.
that is going to be a challenge of 9.
Jim. Why are you doing this to me? Okay.
He moves lightning fast.
Okay, well, I'll
Am
probably
I-
use magic to do it if he is moving that fast. Let me.
Yeah, you can follow him much more, a little more easily.
Well,
But,
I definitely want to follow him, but ideally, I would be able to catch him.
Okay.
because
So we can do the roll to see if you catch him. You'll still at least be able to follow him, so you'll see you'll figure out where he's going. But we'll have to see kind of how you do here.
Yeah. I think I have the wrong book.
You briefly see this for a second. You see a flash. You see an amulet dangling from his chest, and he's got kind of tousled hair, sort of like reddish brown, and
Okay. So I am gonna try to use magic to help me catch him. If possible, I would like to weave obstacles from challenge and gravity from diamond. And I'm trying to use that to slow him down, essentially, so that he cannot run as fast as he would.
Gotcha. Okay. So that will be, let's see. Let me grab the effects by level thingy.
Would it be possible for me to use a spell to help?
Sure.
Would I
The
be
more
able to,
magic, the merrier.
would I be able to do pass through the crowd on Vor?
Oh, that sounds good.
That sounds interesting. Yes.
Let's see.
Okay, I thought I had a separate thing that had just the spell effects by level, but I guess that I do not. So I will go ahead and open the book itself real quick so that I will have that. Here we go.
Moving unnoticed help Vor.
I was gonna say, I have a spell called Devilate, which just says I subdue a being within short range. How short range is short range?
Oh, hey, yeah. So that's if you're within the same train car, then I'll say that you can probably do it.
Cool. It's a level 6 spell plus 1 die.
Okay, let me take a look at the different here. Control a creature's mind for 1 round. Cause a creature to flee. Slow or hinder a creature's movement is a level 3 effect.
Well, but that's an actual spell with a level.
Yeah, it's a
No,
it's a
right,
level 6
no,
spell.
right. No, I'm sorry. I was. It is. That's correct. I'm just saying if Vor is still trying to do the slowing the person down thing, then that would be a level 3. But if instead you would like to let Arushka do a thing, then we can do that instead.
If Arushka is willing to attempt it, that definitely is more powerful than probably what Vor is going to do. So.
Sure, yeah, you can totally do that. It's still now he is a level again the challenge rating he has the resistance, so it's still level 9. But if you're throwing a level 6 spell at him, that can someone remind me if that cancels or if that knocks it down by the spell's level? Do we think?
Yeah, it takes that many sorcery, and then that many sorcery points are taken. That many points are taken off the challenge, so it would go
Okay.
down to a 3.
Yeah. Do you have 6 sorcery?
I do. I have exactly 6 sorcery.
Okay, yeah. If you want to do it, then yeah.
If Aroshka does that and Vor weaves her spell, which is 3 plus 6 is 9, can we get this person?
Yes. You just have to get into the same car with him.
Okay.
How far away is he?
So he is right now about a car's length away. So it's really just a question of the two of you getting just within a little bit of a distance of him. So that's not going to be too difficult. So you can basically you can catch up to him unless you wish to try to make an additional roll to try to do that beforehand. You'll probably catch by the time he gets to the parlor car, you will be within range.
Oh, I'm fine doing this in the parlor car as long as
Yeah.
we catch him.
Run after.
Okay, so you get up. You get to the point that you're just to the point. He hops over. You see him running, dodging past through things. He's figured out someone's running after him. Running seems to be his first instinct on a lot of things. And he dives through into the parlor car, which is, he's been hopping over seats and sort of tumbling. He's very lithe. And the parlor car is, it's like a bar on wheels, enough room to comfortably seat about 30 people. It kind of has rafters. You see, there's a big bar with bar stools and what have you. There are tables around, and people with all manner of glasses that they're drinking from. And so you make it just within, you make it sort of to the, as he's kind of working his way through there, you get close enough, because this is the first place that it's really dense enough that it can block him seriously. Yeah, the two of you cast these spells, and you don't actually even, it's 9, you don't even have to roll. You have stopped him in his tracks. So, as he is doing so, he's sort of been, you catch him kind of mid-stride as he's leaping forward. And the glass falls out of his hand and is now sliding across the bar.
I will dive across the bar for this gym. Jim, watch me.
And there are a couple of other people trying to catch it because they are drunkards. Oh, I'm getting an alert. Okay. Fabulous. All right. So I have a tornado warning in my area for about the next half hour. So if I'm suddenly torn away, please remember me fondly.
Okay.
So, I mean, there's nowhere for me to go.
Have a bathtub to sit in.
But yeah, it's my hope is that we'll be okay. We'll have to see. I will take shelter in a moment, within the apartment. So yes, you dive forth. You do dive forth, and I'm just gonna ask that I'm just gonna ask you can either roll a d10 for me, or if you like, I can draw one more card.
I will roll. What do you want me to beat? The cards have not been kind.
3.
3. Okay. I will spend a movement bene to bring that to 2. And we'll roll for it.
Okay.
Woo!
On the nose.
Woo!
This is one of those beautiful moments as you sort of leap forward. It's almost like in slow motion, leaping across the crowd as it tumbles off the end of the bar and into your hands as you catch it. As you dive and catch it.
Love is the champagne glass.
So, unfortunately, I am going to have to wrap this up in rather short order. So and my apologies for that. But I just wanted to know: is there anything anyone wants to make sure that we see them doing as the train slowly starts back up again?
Nope.
Are we good?
Nothing.
Okay. All right. Well, folks, I got to go. So, unfortunately, I am afraid that I'm not going to be able to do our normal outros as such. My apologies. I am going to please follow all these wonderful people. I'm going to put their links here in chat if I remember how to spell. There we go. My sincerest apologies for, the weather being such as it is.
I don't think you have to apologize for tornadoes. I'm pretty sure they're not your
But
fault.
the tornado is my fault. I'm absolutely certain of it. But, we'll figure it out. But it is much appreciated. And it looks as though things are starting up again for you. So we will resume on the train next time. I thank you all very much for watching. And we mentioned the Wizard of Oz one too many times. I think that was the problem. Take care, folks. We'll see you next week. Farewell.